heard of FOTAL? Fotal. Probably not like that. It stands for fear of taking annual leave. It's a real thing. I think time for us to sort of talk. I mean, there's an old saying in radio that I was told very early on when I started, was never take holidays. Because they worry that, you know, in this kind of game, they say, oh, the person that fills in for you is probably going to sound better than you will, and, you know, that's it. You come back, never take more than 2 weeks holidays, you'll come back and you won't have a job. Well, I don't know. Is that something that more and more people are starting to worry about? Well, it seems like it is, and workplace performance expert Tony Wilson is on the line to talk us through it. Tony, hello.
How are you, Darren?
Yeah, very well. I mean, I find it interesting that, that this would potentially be getting out there in more and more people, especially in Australia, that would be feeling guilty about taking annual leave. We love our holidays, don't we?
Mate, that is what I thought too. And then you look at some recent research that came out, and a staggering 80% of people have some sort of fear of taking annual leave. 2/3 of those people are actually really scared of taking time off.
So, why? What's like? Is it that old thing, like I was just saying, about how, you know, people are worried the person that's going to fill in for them will do better?
Definitely, mate. So that's one of the reasons. And if we look at it, there's probably 3 main reasons. That is number one. I'm worried that the person filling in for me is actually going to do a better job. Or there's also a fear that the person filling in for me will actually find some flaws in my work, or maybe see that I haven't been doing as good a job as I think I am. And so that's an issue as well. And then the other 2 reasons are, you know, pretty much the things that everyone struggles with. We say, why bother taking some time off when I'm going to have to work harder before I go, and then harder when I come back. I'm going to have these emails piled up.
Yes.
And then there's a small amount of people that are actually scared of letting their team down. You know, they know they'll go away and there'll be a whole lot of load on the rest of their team members, and they're not comfortable with that.
Is there an age group that's more like I mean, is there something that millennials are something more likely to worry about than Gen Xers or baby boomers? Like, I mean, does it break down like that?
Yeah, well, they didn't go down to millennials, but they found that, and I found this quite amazing, that Gen X and Gen Y are actually the ones that are most scared of taking annual leave.
Yeah, right.
It seems like the baby boomers must have maybe a little bit more perspective. Maybe they think, you know what, I need the time off, I want to spend time with my family, whatever it is. But it's the younger generations that seem to be the most affected by this.
I wonder if it's something that they'll get out of the habit of doing potentially as they age, because I know I didn't take holidays for the first 4 years I worked. So who knows? You know, mind you, I was full of energy and excited about working at that stage. Not that I'm not now, but you know what I mean. When you first start out with things, you know, you can sometimes have a slightly different approach. Maybe age will bring some wisdom on that front.
Yeah, you'd hope so. Well, I think that, you know, as you get older, different things become more important, right? So
yeah.
You've got younger generations that, you know, they're kind of ploughing everything into work at that age. And while that's really good, people need to also understand that if we don't take regular breaks, we actually can't perform at our best in the workplace.
Yeah. I mean, and look, this sort of leads into the people that will soldier on when they're sick as well. Like, you know, and you understand the philosophy behind it, but realistically, you're not going to win friends by making everyone else in the workplace crook, are you?
That's exactly right. The funny thing is, you're not going to be very productive because you're feeling sick, and chances are you make everyone else unproductive as well. So that is a definite lose-lose situation.
And the funny thing is too, it didn't take long after taking a holiday to go, for me, like, you know, after 4 years of not taking a holiday, then take some time off and going, I kind of get why people do this. Like, it becomes quite obvious when you actually get a holiday under your belt. You go, yeah, I can see the point of this.
Mate, I think everyone does that. I reckon this time of year, everyone goes on holidays and they start making all these plans, right? They go, you know what, we should take a long weekend here and there. We should get away more during the year. But unfortunately, we get back to work and we just get buried in all our stuff. And there's so much information now, right? We've got so much on our plates. There's, you know, the average person could spend the next 7 days at work, 24 hours a day, and still not get everything done that they'd like to get done. And so we have this fear that, you know, we're kind of underachieving, we're not achieving what we need to be, and we're not making progress.
Yeah. And see, that kind of brings it home, doesn't it? It's like, it should make it clear to us that whatever you do, however many hours you put in, you're not going to necessarily get on top of things. So maybe it's not about getting on top of things. It's about just doing what you can and taking a break.
That is exactly right. So, like I said, people look at it as if I've got so much to do, I can't get on top of it, so I can't take some time off. But what you're saying is perfect. We've got so much to do. You're never going to get all of it done. So, whether you get 80% of it done or 84% probably doesn't really matter.
No.
I think one of the things that people kind of really fall into the trap of in the 21st century in particular is, like I said before, we've got so much to do. But the answer isn't always in doing more things.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, the answer is doing a bit less, focusing on the things that really matter and making those things really count, doing them really well.
I don't necessarily want to bring everything, and not that I have, but there actually is a comparison here in housework that is fairly salient. And I know this might be a slightly left of centre thing to say, but as my mum and my wife have always pointed out, you know what? You're never going to find yourself free of ironing. So there's no point trying to stop all of it because there'll always be more.
Well, mate, you've just inspired me. I've got a ton of things to do around the house this weekend, but you know what I might do? If I can get one nail in the wall to hang up a picture, I reckon I've done my job.
Exactly
I reckon
right.
I deserve a beer after that.
There you go. I appreciate your time. Workplace performance expert Tony Wilson talking us through fear of taking annual leave. Don't be afraid of it, especially this time of year. But, Tony, great to chat.
No problem. Thanks very much, Darren.
It's heading up.